Following my trip to Hokkaido, I hopped on a jet to fly from mainland Japan to the island archipelago in the southwest known as Okinawa. Right after takeoff, you can really get a sense of the immense scale of Tokyo, as well as get a breathtaking view of Mount Fuji in the distance. The total flight time is around 2 hours and 45 minutes. The main island is surprisingly big from the air, and as we touched down, I followed most of the crowd out of the airport to the main monorail system that connects to most of downtown Naha, the capital of Okinawa. It's a great build from the last 20 years, but has its limitations on distance. A pretty easy way to get around, but you would probably need to rent a car if you want to explore all of Okinawa. I picked up a simple hostel for several nights, close to the center of Naha. Standard bunk beds, lockers, and semi-private showers were all there. Naha was rebuilt following the invasion during World War II, so a lot of the buildings might look mostly generic, but the infrastructure is still going strong. Amazing monorail system here. Still some of the best. Trash collection. Best music ever. There's some interesting shops and restaurants to check out in the area. I'm gonna take a look inside, see what they got. Some with their own take on decor, as well as food options. I mostly scouted for homemade Okinawan cuisine, with this restaurant being my absolute go-to for 4 days straight. Everything is made from scratch, the price is right, and the flavor is just off the charts. Speaking of prices, I expected everything to be twice as much compared to mainland Japan, but no, most food options were on par or even less than what I found while traveling throughout Japan. I had no problem just walking the streets to find good food and everything in between. The main street in Naha is Cokoside, which seems to attract all visitors and locals alike. It's a pretty long street with some interesting shops that sell souvenirs, some of which I immediately recognized. Quite a surreal experience, seeing all different waves of nostalgia wash over you, with a strong influence from American pop culture and Japanese anime. I could have spent hours just scouring each shop, hoping my own childhood in the mix. There's nothing too over the top, but I did find these frog-shaped bags that caught my eye. At first I thought they were just some incredibly detailed zip pouches, only to be told that they are in fact real frogs that were repurposed as a small purse. Pretty wild. As expected, there is quite a bit of Air Force and Army surplus stores scattered all around Okinawa. This all dates back to the Battle of Okinawa during World War II, when the island was invaded by US forces. Fast forward to present day, after reconstruction, to find several US military bases built on the island. Big thing about here in Okinawa, live music bars. Look at all this, 4 of them. And these musicians were definitely a surprise hit to watch.
You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Afterwards, I recommend going off the tourist path and finding a locals alley to taste some authentic Okinawan dishes. They're slightly different than traditional Japanese food, with locally grown vegetables and seasonings. I obviously wanted to get on the water and wasn't too impressed by some of the local beaches, even though they are exceptionally clean. There's several beachside food trucks to try out as well, with the same Okinawan kick to old favorites. My goal was to head out to the Kerama Islands, which lie just to the west of Naha, and the only way to get there is by either a high-speed catamaran or a passenger ferry, which departs from the main terminal. Okay, so here's the thing that I'm still learning. There's the ferry to Zamami, this big giant ferry. It only runs once and it's slow. And this is where I was. I went to the terminal and everything's in, is in Japanese and all these different languages. So you gotta find yourself, where I'm going is gonna get the high-speed boat, Zamami Island, Aka Island. It's called Queen Zamami. Luckily I saw it from across the way and I'm like, that looks more like a high-speed catamaran. It's a little bit more north from kind of like the main terminal area over there. So this is the boat you want to be looking for, the Queen Zamami. It's a high-speed cat. I'm guessing this is where you get the tickets. And while the website to book tickets is a little outdated, I found it's the only way to book the cat. The boat is very well put together and offers some nice views on the way to Zamami Island. The island is relatively small, with a handful of residents calling it home. The water is incredibly clear, and I couldn't wait to do some snorkeling in this slice of paradise. It was awesome getting back into the water after a cold stint in Hokkaido, and the marine life thrives pretty good here as well. Yeah, so unfortunately, my camera finally called it quits and decided to flood and short circuit during most of my dive. I was able to salvage a bit of diving footage, however, with a swim among a school of batfish. For now, just enjoy some of the aerial shots I was able to get along the coast of the island with some of the most incredible turquoise blue water I've seen in a while. Overall, Okinawa was a refreshing change of pace from the fast-paced rhythm of Japan and a fantastic getaway to warmer climates in late November. Highly recommend paying it a visit if you have the time and are looking for something a little different. My next and final video from Japan will be on the small island of Inoshima in the Kamakura Peninsula. I'll show a bit of Yokohama as well, with a wrap-up and final thoughts on traveling to and around Japan as a whole, and what the future might hold for this unique nation. As always, thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.